Canada confiscated Russia's monster plane and gave it to Ukraine. Canada has announced plans to confiscate a massive An-124 Ruslan cargo plane, which has been grounded at Toronto's Pearson International Airport for over a year. The plane, with serial numbers RA82078, had landed in Canada on February 27, 2022, carrying a cargo of COVID-19 rapid tests, just 4 days after Russia launched its massive invasion of Ukraine. The decision to confiscate the plane and give it to Ukraine was made following a legal ruling by a Ukraine court that found Russia's Federal Air Transport Agency had illegally approved airworthiness certification for all 12 of Volga Dnepr's An-124s. Antonov Airlines, a branch of the Ukrainian state-owned company, which designed the An-124, is expected to receive the craft. The largest operational aircraft in the world. The An-124 Ruslan, also known as Condor by NATO, is the reigning T-Rex of heavy-lift aviation. Capable of carrying 150 tons of cargo and roughly 50 tons of fuel, the 200-ton jet is the largest operational aircraft in the world, ever since Ukraine's even larger An-225 cargo jet was destroyed in the Battle of Hostomel Airport last year. These big haulers have been chartered by both civilian and military clients for rapid delivery of heavy, large-volume cargoes including railway cars, industrial turbines, helicopters, tanks, and even a whale. The An-124 boasts 20% more internal volume and 17% higher maximum cargo weight than its American counterpart, the C-5 Galaxy heavy-haul cargo jet. The massive aircraft can carry up to 3 main battle tanks, 5 BMP infantry fighting vehicles, or an entire mini-submarine. The development and capabilities of An-124 Ruslan. The An-124 Ruslan, also known as Project 400, began development in the 1970s as a Soviet counterpart to the huge American C-5 Galaxy heavy-haul cargo jet. The An-124 closely resembled the C-5 Galaxy, including its folding nose cone used to facilitate loading and offloading. However, the Soviets brought technical flourishes to the concept, including a computerized fly-by-wire flight control system and both ground-scanning navigation and weather radars. The primarily aluminum aircraft also incorporated 5% lightweight composite materials, as well as ultra-hard and ultra-expensive titanium flooring for the cargo deck. A total of 24 massive wheels on 10 gear fairings supported the aircraft, each with built-in auxiliary power units. Those wheels can be deflated to crouch the jet down for ease of unloading. Propulsion was provided by 4 Lotarev D-18T turbofan engines, the first fuel-efficient high-bypass engines developed by the Soviet Union, which could also reverse thrust to assist with landing. Despite making its first flight in December of 1982, followed by an unveiling at the Paris Air Show in 1985, the An-124 wasn't fully operationally reliable until 1991. Altogether, 53 An-124s were built, including the prototype, with parts for 2 more left unassembled. Antonov built 18 of these in Ukraine, while the remainder were built by the Ulyanovsk factory in Russia. Of these aircraft, 22 were built or converted into the civilian An-124-100 aircraft, stripped of military systems and fit with improved D-18T Series 3 engines with much longer service lives, 18,000 hours. 4 An-124s were lost in deadly accidents that claimed 97 lives between them, with a 5th An-124 heavily damaged in a belly landing after losing engine power. The end of the Volga-Dnepr partnership. Antonov began arranging international cargo flights in partnership with British company Airfoil, which included delivering U.S. Patriot missiles during the Persian Gulf War. This began a trend of the An-124 fleet seemingly providing more transportation services to NATO member militaries than Russia's armed forces, particularly during War on Terror-era operations in the Middle East and Afghanistan. The partnership with Airfoil ended in 2005, and Antonov instead leased 12 An-124s to a consortium with Russia called Volga Dnepr, while also operating its own Antonov Airlines. The partnership between Antonov and Volga Dnepr eventually fell apart after Russia's initial invasions of Ukraine in 2014. However, the airline was able to continue operations in Western countries until sanctions in 2022 grounded 4 of its An-124s. 3 more Volga Dnepr An-124s, serial numbers RA82043, 82045, and 82046, are also under impoundment, gathering dust at Leipzig. Germany's plans for these impounded aircraft, one of which lacks engines, remain unclear. The Battle of Hostomel Airport and the loss of Maria. Ukraine used to be the sole proprietor of the world's largest aircraft, the 314-ton An-225 Maria Dream transport plane, operated by its domestic Antonov Airlines from Hostomel Airport near Kiev. This was effectively an enlarged An-124 with a different tail, specially built to carry the Soviet Buran space shuttle. When Putin launched his invasion of Ukraine on February 23, Russian paratroopers seized Hostomel in a helicopter landing operation, planning to use it as a launch pad to capture the Ukrainian capital. To their surprise, the Ukrainians counterattacked quickly and vigorously with air and ground forces, preventing additional troops from landing in the area and causing Putin's attempted snatch and grab of Kiev to collapse in shambles. When Ukrainian troops recaptured Hostomel for good on April 2, they found Maria in its burnout hangar, its front section smashed by shelling. The loss of the likely irrecoverable Maria left its smaller, but still ginormous, sister, the Antonov An-124 Ruslan, with the title of largest in the world. The assault on Hostomel caused damages that would require $3 billion and 5 years to repair, including the destruction of an An-74 and Ant-26-100 aircraft in Antonov's fleet, and damage to the unique An-124-100-150M. Conclusion. The confiscation of Russia's An-124 Ruslan cargo plane and its handover to Ukraine by Canada has caused a stir in the aviation industry. The An-124 Ruslan is the largest operational aircraft in the world and has been used for transporting heavy cargo for civilian and military clients. The end of the Volga-Dnepr partnership and the loss of Ukraine's Maria have led to Antonov Airlines' 5 An-124-100s being rehome-based at Halle Airport in Leipzig, Germany. While the An-124s are reportedly prioritizing missions transporting humanitarian and military aid for the Ukrainian government and NATO, they also still fly commercial flights. The unique features of the An-124, including its computerized fly-by-wire flight control system, ground-scanning navigation, and weather radars, make it a valuable asset for heavy lifting and rapid delivery of cargo. The confiscation of the An-124 Ruslan by Canada and its handover to Ukraine is expected to strengthen Ukraine's aviation industry and help the country in its efforts to rebuild after the invasion.